You know those days when your home just feels off? Maybe you're overwhelmed, low on energy, or everything just feels like too much. On those days, personally, I don't try to do a full deep clean to help myself feel better. I rely on small resets, simple things that can shift the energy in a room and help me to feel more grounded in the space that I'm in. I actually made this video before welcoming our second baby, as I was thinking about how I would realistically care for our home in these early postpartum weeks when time and energy are extremely limited. But honestly, these are the simple things that I do and rely on regular low energy days as well. So whether you're in a season of transition, recovery, or everything's just feeling overwhelming, I hope this video reminds you that you don't have to do it all at once, and little things can add up to make a really big impact. Quick reset number one is to put out fresh linens. So whether this is your kitchen towels for drying hands and dishes, your hand towel in the bathroom, your bath towels, maybe even the foot mat in your bathroom, just swapping these out for clean ones can make such a difference in refreshing a space and making it feel new again. Number two is to open the windows and maybe put on a diffuser as well. Even 5 minutes of fresh air can do wonders to reset a space, especially if the windows haven't been opened a while and it's getting stale, maybe a little musty inside. I personally love to do this right in the morning when we wake up so that we are starting the day with fresh air, even if we're not necessarily outside, and it does make a big difference. Reset number three is a quick visual reset, and that is flipping the couch cushions, if that's possible on your couch, obviously, or even just fluffing the pillows and folding the throw blankets that you might have out. This is something that we do not super often, but occasionally if the living room is starting to feel blah or off, I guess would be a better word, flipping them over and making them look new again is all that the space really needs to feel good in. Quick reset number four, wipe down the counters and then light a candle if you have some in your home. This is not a deep clean, it is just a quick wipe down of any crumbs, dust, and dirt that might be living on the surfaces of your home, whether that's in the kitchen, the bathroom, maybe your coffee table, if that's somewhere that you snack. Wiping it down and then just lighting a candle in the space after makes it feel new again, and it's a really nice thing to do, I guess, at the beginning of a reset so that you've got that nice ambiance going while you're completing other little tasks in the home. Number five, take out the trash, recycling, and compost if you have one. This is something that clears up mental space, and it also just makes the room, probably your kitchen, feel fresh again. I know for me, when the recycling is overflowing and we end up having to put things on top of the kitchen counter, it is time for a reset in this area. It also just helps to prevent odors from sitting around, especially in the warmer months when your home might be a little warmer than usual. It's a very easy thing to just take one trip out the door and get rid of all of that garbage and start fresh. It's not my favorite thing to do, but it does make a big impact when I get around to it. And on the topic of odors in the kitchen, something else that I do very quickly is a water and vinegar spray inside the sink and kind of down the drain as well. I leave it there while I go to do something else, and then I rinse it out with hot water. I find that this helps to maintain and kind of get rid of any odors that are lingering in that area, and it also really helps to cut down on any grease and grime in the sink between my official kitchen sink cleans. I do a 50-50 ratio of vinegar and water, and I keep it in a little spray bottle. I don't use this one on my quartz countertops, that's just a side note here, but in the sink area it's totally fine, and it really does help to just make it feel clean and fresh. Quick reset number seven is to put the clothes away. As simple as that, whether they are on your dining chair, on a hook in the bathroom, on a hook in your closet, something that is not where it's supposed to be. If you put that away, you're gonna feel so much better. I know for me, occasionally we do have these things lying around where, we've been in a rush and they've just been left out. So putting them away, simply folding or hanging them up, does make a huge difference in reducing visual clutter and helping a space feel renewed. Quick reset number 8. If you are feeling very overwhelmed and very low energy, but you want to do something productive that will have a positive ripple effect in the space, is to tidy one messy spot. Just pick one. For me, it's often our daughter's craft table because things get left out there all of the time. It is in the center of our dining room and living room, so it does make a big impact visually. If you've got something like this in your home, just clean it up in a couple of minutes and allow yourself to feel the calm that comes from tidying it up. You might even just find that after cleaning up one small space for a couple of minutes, you want to do another and another. Just let yourself roll with it. Go with the flow and see how many you can tidy. Quick reset number 9 is to vacuum a high traffic area. So for us in our home, this is the entryway, the bathroom, as well as the kitchen and dining room. We are in a condo, so it's not that large. I do vacuum pretty much daily, but especially when the space is starting to just feel dirty and off, vacuuming is something that instantly refreshes it and helps it to feel clean again. It's super easy to do. This is very self-explanatory, and I think it's a very underrated task. Reset number 10, clear out old food or leftovers from the fridge. It takes 1 or 2 minutes to look in there and just pull out the things that you know have been sitting for a while. Maybe they are starting to grow some unwanted things on them. Maybe they've got odors, or maybe they've just been sitting there expired for a while and you've been procrastinating throwing them out. I do that sometimes too. And doing this can really help to reset the fridge area. It makes the process of going in there to find something to cook with and just being in the kitchen much more enjoyable as well. Number 11, for fellow plant owners, deadhead your plants. If you have dead leaves or things that are just not cute on your plants, go and pick those off. It takes less than a minute to do, and it really does help if you have a lot of plants in your space and they're kind of scattered around like ours are. It feels good to be able to, I guess, bring life back to a plant. Watering them at the same time is also very convenient. And this is just a simple reset that you can do to make the space feel fresh again. Reset 12, quickly clean an everyday appliance or tool that you use. For us, this is most often in the kitchen. So that's our toaster, our coffee machine, or even the microwave, and just quickly giving it a wipe down or removing some crumbs from the toaster, for example, is such a low effort task, but it does have a big impact because it's something that we're using daily. So pick one of them and just quickly give it a clean. You will feel better and it will refresh the space a little bit more as well. Number 13, along the same line, is to wipe down a high touch area. This is a task that you would typically think no one will really notice if you do until it's actually done. And it feels really good once it is done because it's just one of those tiny things that does make a difference. So for me, this is often wiping down the fridge because it is a stainless steel front and you can really see smudges and fingerprints on there. Our microwave, the stove top, sometimes the kitchen cabinets because they are matte white, so you can sometimes see a sheen of a fingerprint or something like that. Wiping it down is a very fast thing to do. It takes 30 seconds or less, and it makes a difference in just resetting a space. Reset number 14 is to wipe down the mirrors. For me, a clear mirror makes the room feel much brighter and cleaner, and it really helps when you have little ones around sticking their sticky little fingers on everything. Doing the mirrors is not something I clean often because they immediately have smudges on them after I've done it, but it is something that is worth doing because it does make a difference in how the space looks and feels. So for me, I'm just using my 50-50 ratio of vinegar and water, maybe a microfiber cloth, and just wiping down those smudges. These are sometimes even applicable to windows if you've got like a sliding door or something similar. anything with smudges really. Wiping them off takes a minute or two, and it does make a difference in the space. And finally, the quick reset number 15 is to rearrange one decor item. A candle, a vase, a coffee table book, just move it slightly or switch its position with something else. It's like giving your eyes something fresh to notice and signals to your brain we're starting new or we're starting fresh again. These are the things that I am leaning on in the early days with our new baby, when I won't have the time and energy to do much, but still want our home to feel calm and cared for. But they're just as helpful in regular daily life when things are feeling overwhelming or off. Even doing just one or two of these resets is enough to make a space feel new again and to change the way that you feel in it. I would love to hear what your favorite small reset is in your own space that helps you feel grounded in just a few minutes. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one.